Hello, thank you for clicking on this video, but a full disclaimer, this is not going to be my usual standard of quality. The short of it is I don't much like my content right now. I don't like having to talk about all the paper models as I make them. I like doing it and I like showing it, but I want to talk about different things. I want to do more discussion-based videos around my favorite shows, my favorite characters, other ideas I have, like the purpose of story and objectivity and art, and all these things I have written down, much in the same vein as my JoJo is Style video where I just talk about style, or the Joker Part 1 video where I talk about that film. Oh, and the Mob Psycho 100 video. I'll link all of them down below. They are my 3 favorite videos in the style of content I want to do doing forward, rather than just talking about the process of making the model. I like making the models, I don't like talking about making the models. So I'm feeling like I want to take a step back from the channel to reflect on the content I've made and then structure future content accordingly. But instead of leaving you guys in the dark for another month, I thought I would just do some casual vlogs off the cuff like this one to give you something to chew on in the meantime. So if you want to watch the raw uncut clips of me rambling off the top of my head, be my guest. That's what the rest of this video is about. And if not, completely understandable. Thank you anyway. Hello everybody. I need a break. I'm taking a month off of YouTube. And what I mean by taking a month off of YouTube is I'm going to be uploading very casual videos like this one every week. No, I feel like I need to take a step back from YouTube and really figure a lot of things out. I haven't liked where the direction of the channel has been going for the past 9 months. Actually, I don't enjoy making the content I do. And you know, I've got a lot of plans about this, something I call part 2 or phase 2, where I've been building towards that for 6 to 9 months now, since the start of the year. Yeah, and you'll see if you follow me on Instagram, link in the description, should totally do that. You'll get a lot of insight as to what I'm working on far ahead of time, even more so going forward, because if you follow my Instagram, you'll see that I've got a logo now. A really cool logo. This one. And I was going to wait to reveal it. Oh, look at that. Yes, and I did it on just a little character card because I love cards. I love just having like a piece of cardboard to hold an image in my hand. But there's something about holding something in your hand and experiencing something with your actual senses rather than just your eyes online that pulls you into the present moment a lot more. It's like why reading. I can't read things online and I hate audiobooks because I have to have the thing in my hand. And the reason is when you're online, you're clicking about and everything, right? And you use your mouse and you might use your mouse to click on this thing and then you use the keyboard. But you could be doing anything. You could be scripting a video, you could be doing your education, you could be doing your banking, your taxes, you could be watching YouTube, you could be playing bloody games, you could be literally so many different things are associated with the sensations of tapping the buttons on the keyboard and clicking your mouse about. And because your computer can do everything, if you get distracted or bored by your current task, you can just by the click of a mouse, just switch over to something else. So the point is that when I have a book in my hand, I am present with that thing because this book cannot be anything else but a book. And then also turning the pages and reading the words and holding something of this shape, these actions and these sensations on your hands, again, would only be associated with a book. You know, playing sport, playing video games, computer, drawing, it's a very different sensation. It's another thing, traditional drawing. I love having the pencil and the page in front of me. Why? Because if you make a mistake, well, at least once you ink it and color it, once you make a mistake, you're done. You're stuck with that drawing, so you have to be present with it and you have to give it your full attention. And something with the efficiency and the convenience of everything being online doesn't quite capture that. And, you know, people are finding it harder and harder to be present in the current moment, and they're just preoccupied with the billions of different things there is out there right now, myself included. So the plan was, the way I do the channel moving forward will be a little bit different. And the biggest changes will just be behind the scenes more so than anything. But you'll see there's probably like 5 or 6 videos talking about what I'll be doing differently. But the big thing is just I don't really want to just talk about making paper models. Since day one, the reason I decided to make characters or models with paper is to build an entire world out of paper. I just talked about how I like having things physically around me because it pulls me into the present moment. And, you know, when you make a paper model of a character, this object here in my hands, this assortment of molecules, this can only ever be this one thing, as opposed to one of these devices, one of these bad boys can be anything at once. So you have no real present attachment to it being the one thing, and the second you're bored or distracted by one thing, you can just make it anything else. That's the... Yeah, and you can break books too. So that is why I like... And also animation has been my favorite. It's my highest value is animation. That's the thing I always watch, consume, study. Everything I prioritize in my life is around animation and storytelling. It's just, storytelling is really the top thing because I love movies as well. But animation is sort of just my favorite derivative of that. And so that's what this has been building towards, is I want to have a world of paper with sets, characters, and even special effects as physical things made out of paper. And then I will use stop motion animation to make them move and tell stories with those characters. So storytelling's the thing, and that won't really happen until like phase 3 or part 3, if I want to make it a JoJo reference. But, you know, I have all these plans and structures of how things could be, and, you know, I started the year off by re-reviewing a lot of my old models in the order that I made them to sort of show the progression up until the progression of everything I've made from part 1 of the channel up until I transition into part 2 where I make the changes and I do a different style of video. And, you know, it didn't really work out that way because it turns out I am not inspired to make the videos I am making right now. That's the reason. Anytime anybody doesn't do something, it's because it's not really their highest values. The things, you know, you have certain things that you just gravitate towards, that you don't need to be told to do, that you are naturally inspired by, that you always have energy for, that you spend your time on, that you spend your money on, that you spend your thoughts on. And you really need to make sure you build your life around those things. And for me, number 1 is storytelling. Animation is just a part of that. And then also character design. Character design is a very high one because... And that's what these models are for. This is just my way of expressing character designs, because to turn a character design into a 3D object, you really have to understand that design from every possible angle, which I'd think, yeah. So, but I want to talk more about stories. So phase 2 will primarily be, I keep saying phase or part 2, I mean the same thing, but I should take a breath every now and then, I forget about that. Have a drink. I was hoping this video would be 2 minutes, but it's probably already 10. So I've been working on several videos. I've been trying to script a lot of videos ahead because all the videos I do from part 2 onwards, at least the first 5 or 6, will really try to explain. It'll tell my story, right? It'll introduce the brand PaperPatriot. PaperPatriot's not me. My name's Dan Jordan. Hello, nice to meet you. PaperPatriot will be a character and a brand, very separate from me. I'm the creator behind it, of course, but that'll start in part 2. And also, if you guys like my 2 favorite videos, by the way, my 3 favorite videos actually, my Mob Psycho 100 video, but I spent the majority of that video just talking about an idea that I thought was expressed in that story. Second favorite video would probably be the Joker video, where I just review the film and talk specifically about the duality of tragedy and comedy that I found expressed in that film. And I like that video because it's just talking about the story of Joker rather than the model of Joker. You know, when I make these paper models, I don't want to talk about the process. That stuff's very boring and tedious to me to talk about it. I do it. I don't want to talk about it. I want to do it. So that's what the footage will show. But what I want to talk about is why I even care about the characters that I do in the first place. What story really grabs my attention and why. Oh, and my favorite video is called JoJo is Style. I love how that video just uses the different drawings and models of JoJo that I've made to talk about an idea within that story. So a lot more videos like that will be coming out in part 2 in the next phase of things, because I want to Part 1 was about finding my footing on YouTube. Part 2 will be about analyzing and breaking down my favorite stories and finally explaining to you what it is about freaking One Piece and Evangelion and Gurren Lagann and Mob Psycho and 100 and Attack on Titan and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Overwatch that just really captivates me, and why I think storytelling is the most prevalent activity on the planet. You know, whether it's music, sports, film, TV, comics. Throughout part 2, hopefully I'll learn a lot more about storytelling techniques by analyzing and breaking down the ones that I love, and that'll make me best equipped to actually tell my own stories and do full-blown animated shorts for part 3, which will be years off. But in part 2 we'll have a lot more paper sets, which is a great transition into what I pulled the camera out for in this video, which was to show you my office in its current state. Oh, that light is very yellow. Oh well, I don't care. I don't know how the light is seen yet. Also, if we zoom all the way back into over here, I made this room here. And this room, as you see here, is this room that I am standing in. A scaled model. That room back there is a scaled model of the room you see around here, and then this is the door to the rest of the house. So I just wanted to quickly go over my office in its current state because I'm going to change it again. That's going to be the theme of this video, is that my life is pretty cluttered and messy and I'm not super organized, which is why I feel I need to take a month off to get organized and really get clear on what I do value and how I'm building my life around those things and why. So what I want to do is actually this. This is my new office layout. Yes, I think this is the way. So now, when you walk in, I have both of my desks side by side along the back wall. This shelf, which was over here, is now here. And then now the couch that was stuck here in this corner behind the desk is now been swapped over to the other side of the room, kind of just shoved in the back. I don't really want it here, but and then that white shelf is still in the same spot. And so now all of the space is in the middle of the room, and I have these little light stands now, and the other one over there, and now I can just position them anywhere I like while I work at my desk, and so then I'll have plenty of options into recording things. And then here's all the models along the back wall here. Maybe one day I'll do an office tour, so comment below if you want to see that. But that's really my issue right now. I'm feeling like every single thing I do or create has to be a video just because it could be a video. And that's a pressure that I never expected. Like this box that I made for my Copic markers could be a video. This other Super Saiyan Goku head could be a video. The new shoulder design I'm working on. All the drawings I want to complete. The character cards I've been doing. Logo, spear, barrel, rack. All of this could be content for the channel. Could be its own video. But setting up the camera and figuring out how to structure the video so it's concise and entertaining, and then editing it and then worrying about the thumbnail and all of that, it's twice the work, and that could really put a damper on the inspiration I have for an initial project. Remember, every time you see a video about a paper model, that's 2 projects I'm working on. The paper model itself is one pretty complicated piece of artwork, and then the video itself is a whole nother thing. And this has made me pretty hesitant to make anything currently. I have an established audience now with a pretty set standard, at least in my own head, of what my content should be, and that's feeling quite limiting, actually. And you can only really make a video once. Like, once you talk about the idea, people aren't going to want to see a slightly higher quality video of you talking about the same idea. So I feel like I have to get it right the first time, as if I know what getting it right means. I don't know. So I find myself putting things off until I can make it the best possible quality it can be later. I think that's what they call a creative block, but really that's just a fear that the best you can do right now is not enough. Well, I think 2 things are simultaneously always true, and that's that you, or me, as you are right now, are enough, and also you, or me, can always be better. No matter how good you are or how far you go, you will feel like you can always be better than where you are, because potential, what they call potential, is not a destination. It's a trajectory. You never really know when you're going to get there. And I've always found that no matter how good I thought I did something was, I'd come back 6 months or even years later and figure out ways I could improve it, or at least change it to suit my values and taste as they shift over time. This is, of course, the advice I have for myself. I'm going to watch this video more than anyone. And well, maybe uploading a casual video like this and seeing that my channel is still there and everybody doesn't just up and leave or it gets deleted off YouTube will be a good way to release the pressure I've been feeling. That's it. I'm gonna go plan out my next 13 videos. Comment below what you want to see. I'm actually really interested this time. And also, if you want, comment below what content of mine you like that I've already done, or why you subscribed in the first place. That would be very interesting just to get to know my audience better. And especially my core audience that would care enough to watch this video to this stage. So thank you for watching if you did, and you'll see me next time.